Hi, this is Maria from Crochet A to Z. Welcome to the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please push that subscribe button. If you have, I want to thank you. I want to thank everyone for being here today, and happy Saturday. I hope everyone is having a great day and a great weekend. So here we are, block number 5. Very exciting. We're on block number 5 of our crochet along, crochet at your own pace Afghan. And this is block number 5. I'm going to show you exactly how this is done, and we're going to crochet together. This is one of those take your own time, make it when you want, make the blocks when you want. You can make them in a day if you want to wait and make one a week, if you want to make 2 a week, whatever you want to do. It's at your own pace, at your own time. That's what this is, a fun project for the spring and summer and fall, and you can do this at your own pace and carry it along with you anywhere you go and do your block. So today I'm going to show you how to do this. I want to just mention this is a Premier yarn. It's a great yarn. It is a Premier and it's white. The tutorial that I'm going to do, I'm going to use Basic Stitch Anti-Pilling. This is also an anti-pilling yarn. I have to say that in all the years that I've been making crocheted Afghans and blankets, I don't always use anti-pilling. It depends on the yarn that I use. But yes, it is great if you can get it and you can use it. So this is a Lion brand again, and it is, let me show you, it is Baby Pink. That's the name of it. So for this tutorial, when we're making these squares, we have to use a J hook. So I just want to remind you, I know you've been doing, well, this is be the 5th one, but I just want to put the reminder out there. So let's get started with this pattern, and this is great. So what we're going to do is, as we usually do, and if you're new to this and you haven't done any of the blocks yet but want to get involved, because it's not too late to get involved and make them, because like I said, it's at your own pace, so no worries. You can get in on 5, you can get in on 6, doesn't matter. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our slip knot, and I am going to just pull out a little bit. We're going to chain 34. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. These are your chains. This is your working chain all the time. At the end, you have your slip knot, and it's not considered a chain. I like to say that for anyone that's new and you're looking at this and saying, I think I want to try this, because this is for beginners to advanced and anyone in between. So I just want to mention that as well. And I'm going to just pull my little thing here so I can just pull this yarn. And now what we're going to do is, and you're going to see these are V's for you that are new. Those V's are your chains. So what we're going to do now is in the 4th chain from the hook, the 4th chain, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go in there and we're going to make a double crochet. Now I want to mention that this is considered a double crochet, and this is your 2nd double crochet. It's important that I point that out. So now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to skip 3 chains. We're going to skip 1, and don't count. Make sure you look, because if you're new to this, make sure it's not where you already have a double crochet. So you want to go to the next one. 1, 2, and 3. In that third chain, you're going to skip, but in the next chain, you're going to make a double crochet. So in that third chain, you will skip that third chain, because you're going to skip 3 chains, and you're going to make a double crochet. So now what you're going to do, and I'm going to put this down so you can see what happened here. So here's your 2 double crochets, and here's another double crochet after you did a chain 3, and at the bottom, when you do your chain 3, you're going to skip 3 chains. So once you do that, in the next stitch next to that double crochet, you're going to make a double crochet. So this pattern and this particular square is actually a shell stitch square, but I'll show you that once we get there. So now we're going to chain 1, we're going to chain 2, and we're going to chain 3. We're going to skip 1, 2, 3, and in that 4th one, we're going to make a double crochet. And I want to mention, you skip again 3, and you're going to make a double crochet, and then in the next chain, you're going to make another double crochet. So this is what it looks like. It almost looks like a ladder. And then what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1, chain 2, chain 3, skip 1, skip 2, skip 3, in the 4th one, we're going to make a double crochet. In the next chain, we're going to make a double crochet. We're going to chain 1, 2, 3. We're going to skip 1, 2, and 3, and in the 4th one, we're going to make a double crochet. And as you see, we're doing this right across. So we're going to make another double crochet in the next one, the next chain next to that double crochet. And what we've essentially done is we've made 2 double crochets together, and then we've chained 3 and skipped 3. And we're going to do this right along the bottom. So we're going to see that 1, 2, 3, and along the bottom you're going to skip 1, 2, 3, and in the 4th one to make 2 double crochets. Chain 1, chain 2, chain 3, and again 1, 2, 3. The 4th one we make a double crochet, and you'll see that you're getting to the end, and the last stitch you're going to make a double crochet. So you'll end it the way you began it. So you have a double crochet in the 2 double crochets, 2 double crochets. So that's how you know that you're fine. And this is what it looks like, and I'll go in close so you can see it. So essentially this is what we did. We did this row. So now we're going to do is, and we're going to chain 1, chain 2, and chain 3, and we're going to turn our work. That counts again as a double crochet, just want to let you know. So you chain 3 and you turned your work. Now this is where it's a 2-row repeat, so you're going to do a 2-row repeat for every row that you do. And you want to get it to the point that you have a 9.5-inch square. Now everybody crochets differently, tighter, looser. So just make sure that it's the same size as all the other ones that you've made thus far, if you've made them. So now what we're going to do is we're going to work in this chain 3 space. And this is where we're going to put our shells in. So what's going to happen is you're going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to just cut back a little bit, and 5. So you're going to make 5 double crochets in that chain 3 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then once you do that, you're going to skip over these 2 double crochets from below. Right, you're going to skip right over these, and I'm going to show you, because it's going to look like you're going to go from there to there. So once you do that, you're going to go into the next chain 3 space, and you're going to make 5 double crochets. And again, like I said, you want to have a 9.5-inch square, or as close to that as possible, because everybody crochets differently. You may crochet a little tighter, but if it's the same size as your other squares, you're fine. And if it's a little short, falls a little short, you can block it, and I will show you that process in another video. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So see, now you have 5 shells here and 5 shells here. And I want to show you what I mean by when you make your square, it's going to be the same size as all the other ones. So as long as you do that, you're golden, you're fine. And everybody crochets a little differently, a little tighter, a little looser. So that's going to make an impact too. But as long as they are the same size as your other ones. So now we're going to go in here, and we're going to do 5 more double crochets. And this is the pattern. It's a 2-row repeat of your shells and your basic row that you did when you started. So we're going to do 5 more here. And now we're going to move on to the next one, and we're going to do 5. And you're going to go over, you're going to skip these 2 spaces. And that's what it looks like. Let's see, a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 here. Then you go to the next one, and you make 5 more, because you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna keep going and going. Oop, the label just fell on the floor. And we're gonna go right across. 3, 4, and 5. There you go. And at the very end, nothing's going to change because you still got a spot where your chain 3 is, so you still got a spot to go into. You're going to put 5. And this has become easier to manipulate once you do these 2 rows. Just want to mention that in the beginning it might be a little bit problematic, like holding it and getting everything, but you'll be fine. So there's your 5. Now at the very end, we're going to end the way we began. So if you notice, there's 2 double crochets from below. You're going to go into that last one where that chain 3 space is, and in the 3rd chain, you're just going to put a double crochet. So you're going to skip the double crochet from below and go to the end and put a double crochet there. And that's what it looks like. So now what we've done is we've done this row and this row. So now again, this is a 2-row repeat. And I want to mention that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have 15 rows. So some will have less, some will have more, depending on how you crochet. But if you get to the point where you're the same size as your other squares, you're going to be fine. So just figure you could have anywhere in that vicinity. So I just want to mention that. So now again, we're going to chain 1, chain 2, and chain 3. We're going to turn our work. That's considered our first double crochet. So now what we're going to do is in the double crochet from right here, I just want to show you, we're going to work a double crochet. Okay. Once you do this double crochet and this double crochet, you're going to skip 1, 2, 3. But before you do that, you're going to chain 1, 2, 3. Then after you do that, you're going to move on and you're going to skip 1, 2, 3. So let me start over again. Once you've finished that row, you're going to chain 1, 2, 3. You're going to turn your work around, and in the first double crochet from that shell from below, you're going to put another double crochet. So this is going to mimic what you did that first row to a certain degree, because it's a little different because you don't have your shells. So now what you're going to do is chain 1, chain 2, and chain 3. You're going to skip 1, 2, 3 of your shells, and you're going to go in this last one and you're going to put a double crochet. Then in this next first shell of the next space where your shells are, you're going to make a double crochet. Now what you're doing is you're mimicking this from below. So now you're going to chain 1, chain 2, and chain 3. And then you're going to skip 1, 2, 3. And in this last shell, or the last double crochet of the shell, you're going to put a double crochet. So then in the next shell right here, that starts the next 5, you're going to put a double crochet. You're going to chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. You're going to skip 1, 2, 3, and in this last double crochet, you're going to put a double crochet. Once you do that, you're going to go into this first double crochet, the next shell over, and put a double crochet. Then you're going to chain 1, you're going to chain 2, and you're going to chain 3. And you're going to go into this next, once you do that, 1, 2, 3, you're going to go to the next and last chain, double crochet of that shell, and you're going to put a double crochet. So think of it as you're making your ladders. So you're going to do a double crochet in the first double crochet from the shell of the next 5 shells. Now what we're going to do is we're going to, like I said, we're going to keep mimicking what we did below. 1, 2, and 3. Once you chain 3, you find that last shell of those 5, and you put a double crochet in that shell. Once you do that, you find the first shell of the next 5 shells, and you put a double crochet in that from below. Now you're going to chain 1, chain 2, and chain 3. Then you're going to look across, and you're going to say 1, 2, 3, and in that last double crochet of that shell, you're going to put a double crochet. And this is at the end now. You're at the end of your square that you're going to make. And now you've got 1 left, and you are going to put a double crochet at the very end because you want to have 2 double crochets in the end. And this is what it looks like. Isn't that pretty? It's so pretty, and I want to just show you. So now you're going to go to the next row of your 2-row repeat. So this is row 1, and this is going to be now row 2. So you're going to chain 1, chain 2, and chain 3. You're going to turn your work around. Now, I want to just mention, and I'm going to go close, because this is going to be row 2. Because row 2 is where you make your shells. I'm going to just pull that out of the way. Row 2 is where you make your shells. So I want to emphasize that when you're on row 2 of your 2-row repeat, you do not have to put another double crochet here. You're going to jump double crochet, you're going to jump right into these chain 3 spaces, which means you're going to never do anything in here. So let's go. So you're going to put 5 double crochets right in that chain 3 space. So you do 1, you do 2, you do 3, you do 4, and you do 5. And yes, this would make a very nice shawl or an Afghan too, if you wanted to just do that. It's just, this is a very versatile stitch. So now you made your 5. So you're golden. You're going to go into this next chain 3 space and make 5 more. And you wouldn't think that you would be able to do that because you'd say, well, nothing in between, but it doesn't, because you're making so many double crochets, you don't have to do any stitches between this. And the row 1 is your guide. It guides you to your next row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we're going to go into that next chain 3 space, and we're going to make 5 more double crochets. And this is, without a doubt, a real pretty shell stitch pattern. And with every block that you make, if you've never crocheted before, you're learning something new. So now see, you've got these 2 double crochets. You don't have to worry about doing anything in these stitches. You're going to move to this next chain 3 space with your 5 double crochets. And this is so nice, so easy, and such fun. And this crochet along at your own pace blocks are fun, and they put no stress on you because you just say, okay, you know what? I don't have time to crochet today. I don't have time to think about going forward in this pattern. I can't think about this Afghan today. I'm too busy. That's fine. You pick it up the next time you have time, whether it's a week from now, a month from now, 3 days. It doesn't matter because this is at your own pace. This is what makes this project fun. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into this next chain 3 space with 5 double crochets that in fact make up your shell. And if you put too many in there, no worries, you just pull it out. Once you know this pattern, once you know what you're going to do in those 2 rows, it's going to be very easy for you to just move forward. And I want to show you what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Isn't it pretty? And like I said, it's just a pretty pattern. And I wanted to show you what it looks like. So there you go. That's what it, in the different colors, it's very pretty. So now right here, once again, we're moving forward and we're putting in 5 double crochets, which make up our shell. And this is our last shell that we have to make for this row. And again, it's a 2-row repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what do? We skip this double crochet and we go into this chain 3, the top of that chain 3 space. Excuse my voice, it's all the pollen that's out there, and we make a double crochet. The pollen has really gotten me this time around. But I want to show you what it looks like. I'm going to go in close so you can see it. And that's what that's going to look like. So I want to let you see it up close and personal so you can see that this is what it looks like. So then once you do that, and I'm going to pull out, I want you to see that, now you're going to chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. You always chain 3. I want to mention that to you. Always chain 3. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to turn your work around. And now, why I'm going slow here is I want to, just remind you that this is your 2-row repeat. So this is important on your 2-row repeat. This is row 1 of your 2-row repeat. Row 2 is your shells. So once you do that, what you're going to do is this is your first double crochet. In this first double crochet from below of that 5 shells, you're going to make a double crochet. Once you do that, you're going to chain 1, 2, 3. Because you have to make that bridge, let's call it a bridge, for your 5 double crochets to sit on. Then you're going to go and you're going to skip 1, skip 2, skip 3 of the double crochets from below, and in this very last one, you're going to put a double crochet. Then in the next one, the first one from the next shell, you're going to put a double crochet. So just think of it as you're building bridges. Think of it as you're building your bridge. So now you got to chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. You're going to skip 1, 2, 3 in the last one of the double crochets of the shell. You're going to put a double crochet. In the first double crochet, the next set of shells, you're going to put a double crochet because you're building your bridge. You're going to chain 1, you're going to chain 2, and you're going to chain 3. That chain 3 again is very, very important because that's where your 5 double crochets or your shell stitch sits. So now we're going to go to the other side at the very last shell of this 5 shells, and we're going to put a double crochet and then a double crochet in the first of the shells, which is fine, of the next row of shells. Then we're going to chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. We're going to skip 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And in the last shell of that, or should I say the last, well, we can say the last double crochet of that shell, we're going to put a double crochet. So now what we did is we did that. So we're going to go to the next shell of the first one of the next set of shells, and we're going to put a double crochet. Chain 1, chain 2, chain 3, because we are, after all, building a bridge. In that last shell from this set of shells, we're going to put a double crochet. Then we're going to put a double crochet in the first shell of the next set of shells. This is row 1 of your 2-row repeat. We're going to chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. Now we're at the end. So at the end, we're going to find our last double crochet of that shell, set of shells, and we're going to put a double crochet. And then we're going to say, okay, we've got to finish this row because we've got to have 2 double crochets next to each other. And in that chain 3 space at the very tippity top, we're going to put a double crochet. And now that's what that looks like. And now we're going to go to our row 2, and we're going to chain 1, chain 2, and chain 3. We're going to turn our work around, and because we made our bridges, we're going to make 5 shells on every bridge that we have. On every bridge that we have, we're going to make our 5 shells. And this is the way it's going to be until you finish your block and you have a 9.5 or thus so size block, a block that will be the same size as your shells, as your other blocks. Now you could go 13 rows with this, depending on how loosely or tightly you crochet. So don't be afraid and say, oh, I did something wrong. If you go beyond 13 rows, it's okay, as long as you get it so that it's the size of all the blocks that you have. And I'm going to count and show you once I get, because I don't like to leave you in the middle of something. I always like to finish my row off if I can. But this is your row 2, again, of your 2-row repeat of this block. We're just going to go right along. We're at the end, and we're on one more bridge that we've got to put our 5 double crochets. So let's put our 5 in here. And this is a very pretty shell pattern block. So we don't do that one. We're going to skip over it. Not going to miss it. We're going to skip over it. And we're going to go in this last chain 3 space and make a double crochet. And now again, this is your 2-row repeat. So this is row 2. The next row will chain 3, and then you'll put another double crochet in this one, and you'll go like you did all the other rows until you get to the desired width, should I say desired block size you need. And this is the way it looks. Isn't that pretty? It's a really pretty pattern. And again, here it is right here. And I just want to mention that you can go 13 rows, but it depends on how you crochet. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I had to do 15 rows. I crochet a little tighter than most. So you may have to do 15 rows as long as you're at that 9.5 inch square, or like I said, as long as it's the same size as your other squares, and which mine is. And then like all the other squares, you're going to finish this off the same way. And I have a video for that. That's part 2 of your part 1, and it is how to finish this off. You finish it off 3 single crochets in each corner, 25 single crochets across, 3 in the corner, 25 single crochets up the side, 3 in the corner, 25 single crochets on the top, 3 single crochets in the corner, and 25 single crochets on this side. So all the way around, you do 25 single crochets. At each corner, you do 3 single crochets. That's how we finish off all the blocks. And I do have part 2 of part 1 that shows you how to finish off the blocks. And they're all the same. 3 in the corner, 3 single crochets, 25 on the side, 25 on the top, 25 on the bottom. This is Maria from Crochet A to Z. I hope you liked this tutorial of block number 5 of our Crochet Along at Your Own Pace Afghan. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Loved having you here. And I hope you're enjoying this series. And I hope you're crocheting along with all of us as we finish and go towards making our next block. Block number 6 will be out sometime next week, at the end of next week. But I do have other tutorials that I have that are coming in between. So again, this is block number 5, and I want to put it out the other one that's here as well. I also want to mention all the blocks have a right and a wrong side to them. So, and I'm going to show you the ones, how you should distinguish between the blocks so that you put them, and I will show you that, so that you put them all facing the same way. So I will be going through that as well. Even though we've gone back and forth, and when I say is turn them, I think that one way of putting them together could be the best way of doing it. There isn't a big difference, but I think there is enough of a difference that you should put them all the same way. So, but I'll show you how to distinguish what the front and the back is, or the right side and the wrong side. So again, this is Marie from Crochet A to Z. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye, and love you all.